guys. Just wanted to jump on and give you guys a quick update. I hope everyone is doing amazingly. I have been doing great. It took me a minute to get to the great point, but I am great today. So I'm just going to jump on in and tell you what's been going on with me. So when I left you guys, I let you guys know that my egg retrieval was going to be on the 13th, which was a Monday, um, and that it had got pushed to Monday from the original day was supposed to be Friday, and then they said it may be Sunday, but then it got switched over to Monday. I did do a trigger shot Saturday, and all went well. So let's get started with the egg retrieval. They collected 28 eggs, and out of that 28, 24 were mature, and out of the 24, 13 fertilized. So we were super amazed about that. Something else that I loved is that the clinic that I go to, they actually allowed my husband to be on speakerphone when they were doing the egg collection as well as the transfer. As I mentioned in my last video, he was not going to be here for the egg retrieval or the transfer, which was really a bummer. But he had to go away for a 2-week thing for some aircraft, so it was nothing that we could do about that. God, excuse how I'm looking, guys. I have been totally in the bed. But anyway, so those 13 that fertilized, we had 4 10-cell grade A, we had 8 8-cell grade A, and we had 1 8-cell grade B. So they were super happy about the fertilization report, and so are we. It was amazing. So we had 13 fertilized eggs. Excuse me. And the clinic that I go to, they always transfer too. But before I get into the transfer, after the egg retrieval went perfectly well. When I got home that day, it was just mild cramping, nothing too bad until the next day. The next day, I was in extreme pain, and I was very nauseous, and I had a touch of diarrhea. And at first, I was constipated, but then once I went, and it was crazy. I had my son go and get me a heating pad, which did help a whole lot, putting that on my abdomen. But it was just horrid the first night. The second night was no better. And I was really scared, because it was just me and my boys here. And, my oldest son, he's 22, so he was here with us. And my youngest son, he's 16, and he was here. And, I mean, it was just, God, it was just horrid. And so they helped out as much as they could. I laid in bed and just kind of tried to relax. And then I couldn't take it anymore. And I had got to one point where I didn't know if I had to toss my cookies, or if I had to go to the restroom. It was just like, what? So I had my son drive me to the emergency room. And while there, I used the restroom, and I immediately felt better. The ER doctor said that he said that I could have a mild case of OHSS, but that I should definitely call my doctor and all of that. There was no fluid or anything built up in there. So he just pretty much just told me to just take the Tylenol and just try to relax. But like I said, after I used the restroom, I was fine. I went back home, got back in the bed, and the next day after that, it was a little bit better. It was still very, very tender, very sore. So I know my ovaries were a little bit swollen. It was just super tender. So I just kind of laid around. And then transfer day came, which was the 16th. And I was a little nervous. I did not want them to push my transfer back. So when I went in, I didn't even mention that I went to the ER. I just said, well, the way that my clinic does it, they don't do an ultrasound first. And I said, well, and they also draw your blood. And I said, well, if they find something and they say, well, we can't do it, then we can't do it. But I'm not going to tell them that I had such a horrid couple of days. So I got in. My transfer was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I went in with a full bladder and had an ultrasound. And they said, oh, well, your ovaries are a little swollen, but it's no big deal. It's okay. And I was very happy about that. So my husband, I called him on my phone, and he was on speaker, and they transferred two 10-cell grade A little sticky beans. So that was amazing, and we got to see that online, and they gave us a little picture of it or whatever, which I forgot to upload on here, and I probably won't go back and upload it. But they um, you can see the little tube go in, and it's like a little white line, and then they just give a little puff of air, and it places it in your uterus and everything. So our little sticky beans got put in there, and everything went great. After transfer, they continued to let those 11 that was left grow and see how they were going to do. And out of those 11 that were left after transfer, 7 were frozen. So we were really, really excited about that. We have 7 embryos just waiting for us. So that's awesome. Transfer, like I said, went great. I had minimum cramping, a little bit of back pain, but it was nothing compared to egg retrieval. Then, let's see, transfer was on the 16th. I'm just looking at my notes, guys. And 7 days past my 3-day transfer, which would be the 23rd, the cramping got worse. It was like just really bad AF cramps, and I told my husband, I said, oh my God, I feel like AF is coming. My lower back was hurting, and it was just really bad cramping. On the 24th, the cramping was still there, but it wasn't as bad, and which was yesterday, and that would have been 8 days past transfer. But I decided, I'm going to take a pregnancy test, and I know that's super, super early to be testing, and I know that a lot of people don't test. They wait to their first beta. I am not one of those people. I think that by me testing, I don't know, it just gives myself a little bit more peace of mind. If the beta comes back negative, it's not going to be such a shock to me. I was already testing out my trigger. So this was not the first day of me testing. I had been testing since I had my transfer on the 16th. I started testing the 17th. I started testing not to see if I was pregnant, guys, but to test out the trigger, because I wanted to make sure that I got a totally negative pregnancy test, which would let me know that the trigger shot was out of my system. And that happened, I believe the trigger was out of my system like the 21st. I think it was the 20th or the 21st. I believe it was the 20th maybe. The trigger was totally gone. I mean, stalk white negative testing. And so when I took the first test on the 24th, and I got a slight positive, and I will post that here. I was floored. I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. So, of course, I tested again with a different test with a Walmart cheapie. And this is what I got. And I'm pointing, but I don't know exactly where it's going to be on the screen because I'm not super duper with these things. But with the editing. But anyway, so it was definitely darker, and I was just super surprised. I found a chart because we stay on Google, and it says that, and I'll try to post that at the end of this video, the chart that I found. And from my, what is this? I'm not sure what happened. But I think that I was true to this chart. But anyway, so today is the 25th. And of course, I got up this morning and I tested again. And this is what I got. So we're super, super happy about that. Um, and I mean, my first beta isn't until the 30th. So I'm just going to keep testing every day and praying that the lines get darker and darker. And I will let you guys know what happened. But we are super excited. I don't, I'm so nervous and I'm so scared at the same time. Um, I just don't know what to think at this point. But like one of the other ladies that I follow on here, once I had my transfer, I was pregnant until proven otherwise. So I'm going to stay with that mentality and just try to be as positive as I can. And I will keep you guys posted. Take care. Bye.